Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Two Bye Guys. I have a really fun episode for you today. It's one that I conceived of over a year ago, but I wasn't able to carry out until now. It's about an event called BFF. But briefly, very briefly before we get there, I want to plug my Fluid Conversation series, which has been really fun and going so well. We did 5 topic-based discussions through Pride Month, and I decided to continue them on an ongoing basis. And I couldn't decide if I should do it once a month or once a week. So like a good bisexual, I split the difference and we are doing it bi-monthly or bi-weekly. I don't really know what bi means in that context. We're doing it every other week or twice a month. So check the link in my social media bios or the link in the show notes on this podcast for the Fluid Discussion series. It's free to attend. And I'm also going to be transitioning that into some group coaching experiences where we can really start to get to know each other and build community on an ongoing basis. But I've just got so much going on this summer, and I'm sure you all do too. So I'm going to start that in the fall. So if you might be interested in that, check out Fluid Discussions for a little bite-sized version. And as always, I'm doing one-on-one coaching. I do have a few spots available. You can always schedule a free 25-minute intro call with me at any time. There's links in the show notes and on my website, robertbrookscohen.com. And of course, if you've been listening to this podcast, I am looking to integrate psychedelics into my coaching. I do not serve medicine, but I am learning a lot about preparation and integration. So if you're thinking of going on your own plant medicine journey and you want to chat about preparation and integration, which to me are just as important as the medicine journey itself, if not more important, schedule that free intro call and let's talk about it. I can help point you in the right direction as I learn about this space as well. So today we are going to be talking about BFF, a biannual event in Palm Springs, twice a year. Biannual, maybe. And though many people do meet their best friends forever at BFF, that is not why it's called BFF. Obviously, BFF stands for Bi Fuckfest. And now this episode already gets the explicit tag just a few minutes in. But Bi Fuckfest is a biannual takeover of a resort in Palm Springs, currently hosted at Exotic Dreams Resort, although in the past this event was in Las Vegas. I believe it's moved a few times. It's about 250 bi people, men, women, couples, hanging out by the pool, partying, and, doing other things. I think the name kind of speaks for itself, doesn't it? So I went to my first BFF last summer in 2024, and I went to my second one this summer at the end of June. There's also a winter BFF every January, same location. And this was the 25th year of BFF. It's been run by different people over time. It's been passed down. It's moved around. And it's evolved into its current incarnation, which I thoroughly enjoyed. Met a lot of great people. Lots of amazing, crazy, pleasurable things happening there. Lots of firsts, as you'll hear. Lots of exploration of new things, even for people who thought they had tried a lot of everything. But as much sex as there was, which was definitely fun, I also found this BFF to be very healing, both for me and also collectively for bi people and non-conforming people in general. So at BFF, all the men there are bi. The event centers bi men. If you're a guy, you have to be bi to attend this event. And the reason for that is because much of the swinger community does not center bi men. And BFF is similar to a swingers event. It's sort of part of that lifestyle world. Many people who go to BFF are in the lifestyle, although I would argue it's a bit broader than that. It's not just a lifestyle event, since it does bring in other people too, like me. I would not necessarily consider myself in the lifestyle, although I'm certainly lifestyle adjacent. And because this is such a bi-forward, bi-focused event, it does attract others outside the lifestyle. Pretty much all the women are bi as well. Not 100%, it's not required, but most are. And some of them do identify as straight. Usually they're accompanying their bi husbands and they're in the lifestyle. And so even those women who do identify as straight are super accepting, and there's often some fluidity within their straight identities as well. And because most people there are bi and bi men are centered, there is just so much acceptance and validation at this event. Like, many guys are out in their normal lives like me, but many are not. And they might live in a place where they can't be. And so they come to BFF every year or twice a year. And it's one of the only places where they're not just known and accepted as bi, but actually celebrated as bi. Like, the women at BFF, they don't just put up with sex between men, they love it. They are turned on by it. They are encouraging it. So it's truly an environment whereby people don't have to pick a side or feel any shame about their desires, because everyone is in the same boat and everyone is exploring sexually out in the open. You really can't be on the down low at BFF, and you wouldn't want to be. Though you can have sex behind closed doors if you want to at BFF. There are rooms, hotel rooms people go into. Very few people do that. And even if the door is closed, that's usually to keep the AC in and the windows are wide open. It's sort of like a nice metaphor of just how open everyone is there, both when they're having sex and when they're not. And what I realized this year is that because of that acceptance and validation, like because of this safe container where everyone is walking around naked and being so upfront about themselves and their desires, it fosters this amazing sense of friendship and community. You really just get to the core of people and have a real emotional intimacy with them right away. And so in the interviews I've compiled here, I did a handful of interviews. You will hear that theme about friendship and community over and over. So last year, I got the idea to do some interviews at BFF, but by the time I started, it was too late. Things were wrapping up. So this year, I started interviewing people on day 3 out of 4 days. It's 4 nights, technically 5 days, but everyone leaves on the 5th day. I have 9 interviews to share with you today. Some are just a few minutes, some are a bit longer. And I tried to get a range of different types of people and experiences so that you can get a bit of a window into BFF. And if you ever do want to attend, the event is open to anyone, but it's not advertised much outside of swinger websites. So feel free to DM me and I can put you in touch with the organizers. I'll describe BFF a little bit more after the first set of interviews, but let's get right into it. First up is a short interview with a guy I met named Charles. I started every interview by asking each person to tell me a bit about themselves, however much they wanted to share, and why they were at BFF. So here is Charles.
So I'm Charles. I'm 57. This is my second time at BFF. This is the first time I've stayed all weekend. And it has been one eye-opening experience after another. Meeting great people, amazing people. And the best part is I keep telling everyone it's judgment-free, it's fantastic, it's a sexual freedom, and it's just a lot of fun. And there's a lot of positivity everywhere. Everyone's just in a good mood. Everyone's happy.
Yeah.
So that's my favorite part about this whole weekend, is just being with a bunch of happy people.
Yeah. There's an abundance of happiness. Wait, and how many BFFs did you say you've been to?
This is my second.
Last summer was first?
Last summer was first.
How did you hear about it in the first place?
My friend Mike, who is a regular, he lives here in the Palm Springs area, he told me about it. I met him on Instagram, of course, and we've met up in person and so forth, and he told me about it, I don't know, early last year. Gave me Brad's email and bam.
Nice. And what's the most surprising thing that you've encountered here?
How much can I really say without it going to X-rated? The openness of everyone. The literally, and I say openness, and I mean openness. I mean, yeah.
Say more.
Yeah. I mean, it is also surprising how flexible I've seen some older people be here. It's like, wow, you do your stretches in the morning.
Literally flexible.
Yes, literally. I did not think that woman could get her legs that high up in the air, and she did.
Yeah. I thought you were going with hetero flexible, homo flexible, which is here too.
Well, that
literally
too.
Literally flexible.
Yes, that too.
So flexibility is key at BFF.
Absolutely. and just enjoying it,
Cool. What's your favorite part?
watching
Ah,
and being watched.
what's the culture of watching here like?
Accepted, which is the good part. And that seems to be an overall consensus of watching is okay and having to know when to join and when not to join.
Mm-hmm.
There seems to be a good balance of that. You go to different um, sexual events, and sometimes that consensus is not there. Whereas here, there's a what's the word I'm looking for? Respect.
Yeah.
There's a respect for everyone here.
Yeah. It feels like there's a good balance of like people being forward and asking for what they want and also not pushing
Exactly.
too hard.
Yes.
Cool. Anything else you want to share?
I can't wait to come back. And I've already shared with some friends and they can't wait to join. So, yeah.
Cool. Thank you, Charles.
You're welcome.
That was Charles. I was also sitting in that playroom with a guy named Steve. So here is a bit with Steve.
I'm Steve, and I'm here because it's a fun place to be.
It's easy, succinct answer.
Yes.
That makes sense. And how many of these have you been to?
This is my fourth one.
Cool. So all summer?
3 summers. My first winter was January.
Cool. And how did you get involved here?
I went through a divorce, and in finding myself post-divorce, I kind of found myself on Cassidy and found BFF.
Nice, cool. What's your favorite part? As more, and do you want to just describe where we are right now?
So we are in one of the playrooms at BFF. There are 3 of them here on site, and I'm in a room with 3 king beds and a sling right in the center as 2 gentlemen and a very lovely lady walk in, and we're seeking shelter from the heat.
Yes,
is what we're doing all here.
More and more people are coming in as we record this podcast, and I don't know if we're preventing them from having sex. So feel free if you want to. Okay, what's your favorite things about BFF?
How easy it is to have sex better than porn. It's. I mean, it starts with a, hey, I think we should fool around, and before you know it, you're surrounded by 10 people also fooling around with you.
Yeah. There have been a few times I've walked past something or been part of something that I've looked up and gone, this is the hottest porn I've ever seen. Like, let me take a mental picture of this because you can't find this, and yet it's like everywhere around here. What else do you want to share about BFF? What's unique about it?
The acceptance. There is a lot of, I believe, work that has been done with a lot of the queer men here. So everyone is very welcoming, regardless of where you are in that journey. There are people who just kind of found out they were bi or accepting they were bi. There are people who've known their entire lives. And everyone here is very welcoming about, like, let's go at your level, let's go at your pace. But there is definitely something here for everyone.
Cool. Awesome. Anything else you want to share?
No, actually.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Steve.
Thank you, Hot Rob.
I'm Hot Rob. That's my nickname here. Okay. Bye. Okay, so yeah, my nickname this BFF was Hot Rob. I can't say I'm ashamed of that nickname. How it came about is I walked into BFF on Thursday. I thought I was early, but apparently getting there at 3 p.m. was a little late. There were already a ton of people in the pool by the time I got there. So as I was walking past the pool to my room, I heard a guy in the pool go, "That guy's hot." And I immediately looked over, we made eye contact, smiled, and I kept walking. But then I just decided, you know what? Everyone's in the pool. I'm here. Why not? So I put down all my stuff on the side of the pool. I took off all my clothes and I walked into the pool right up to the guy who said that. And we met and we talked, and somehow that guy made it a thing. Well, that guy's name is Mark. And over the next few days, I connected a bunch with he and his partner, Josh, and I asked them if they'd be open to an interview. So here is a really fascinating interview that I love with a married couple, Mark and Josh.
My name is Josh. This is my husband, Mark.
Say hi,
You're
Mark.
supposed to say hi.
Hello.
We are here. Me and my husband are, I'd say, gay in the traditional sense. We both did have wives in the past. But I think deep down, like, both realized we were gay. We weren't expressing anything. Just we had our reasons, and then came out and are living our lives. We've been together for 16 years. We have a 17-year-old child together.
Cool.
And we are here. We love sex. We met at a gay sex party club. And
I identify as bi, and Josh, I would say, is situationally bi, but primarily gay.
yeah, I'd say that's accurate.
But as a couple, people like perceive you as a gay couple.
Yeah,
Definitely.
for sure.
Yeah.
And I mean, we've done these kind of parties with all men, but never anything where there were any women around. And we met a play partner in Phoenix, who we got to talking to, and he, I told him I was bi, and then he told us about this event. So referred us, and here we are. We had a lot of firsts this weekend. We did not know there were a lot of firsts to be had still.
Yes, even every day I've heard about new firsts that we didn't think were possible. Any of those you would like to share?
I mean, for me, seeing Josh make a girl squirt has been exhilarating. It's been fantastic watching him with women. I've seen him with other guys, which turns me on, but like seeing him with the women has been incredibly hot.
Yeah, you were telling me before you got here, you were unsure if you Josh, were going to be interested in that, or you haven't done that as much as you. Tell me about your experience, and then leading before this, and then the reality of it.
There has been two women that I basically had a threesome with. One with my husband, and both times these have happened in Maui. We say something that we kind of say is Maui makes us bi, and and one of them was a coworker, and she came on to us and said that she'd always had a crush on me, and asked if me and my husband would fuck her. And she's married, and her and her husband are into hot wiving, so he likes watching her get fucked. And we had some drinks, and I really wanted to make sure that was okay. So I was like, hey, like, I just want to make sure you're in the right headspace. And basically she showed me texts that said that yes, he would love for her to get fucked by us.
She had asked him permission to hit on us before we all went out that night.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was incredibly hot.
Hi.
Yeah. So that was Maui 1. And then Maui 2, Josh just wanted to see a hot guy's dick, so he facilitated a girl and guy hooking up so that he could be there while it happened.
And I joined in on their making out session, and neither of them stopped me. And it escalated, and I blew him and ate her out and guided him into her.
Wow.
And then we both were in front and back of her and vaginally DP'd her until we both finished. And then made out at the end of that, and it was intense and hot.
Yeah, in 16 years, Josh has touched 2 vaginas.
So those were the 2 in those years. 3.
Okay. My wife. Yeah.
No, since we met.
Oh, since we met, yes.
It's touched 2
Correct.
vaginas.
And then what?
Now it's like
since
12.
Man.
Since Thursday.
It's been a
3
lot.
days ago. Yeah.
There's, I guess, like, in my head, I'm like, women are not as sexually charged as men. There is a different dynamic, I'd say. I think that women need more of a connection. Like a guy could go for a hookup and not have any words with the other guy, and women, I don't think a very small amount of women get in that sort of headspace and play. I think they need a more like mental connection with the person. But that's been kind of fun because like we've met women here who are kinkier and into like crazy stuff that I would never expect a woman to be into, and they like being touched, and I am a people pleaser. I like making people feel good,
and Josh is a talker too, so the connection part I knew he would love about like swinger lifestyle, because it's more of a connection than just like a random glory hole blowjob or the typical gay male hookups. So I knew I always joke that he could talk to an Eskimo about ice for 5 hours, so he would love an event like this. I knew he would like the connection part. I didn't think the sex would be as amazing and intense.
Yeah. And for you, identifying as bi coming in, how has this been for you?
Oh, incredible. Like I said, I didn't think I had a lot of firsts left to have. But also I'm on kind of a new journey. I just started bottoming like 3 months ago, and been able to facilitate some things that I never thought were going to be possible. So yeah.
Cool. What's like surprised you the most being here?
I know the most surprising thing, and I'd say probably one of the biggest turn-ons, is there's women here whose husbands came out as bi or maybe even gay, and one supportive. They brought them here so they can have some experiences, but there's other ones who you can see they don't just allow it. Like it is a turn on for their wives to see them living these fantasies, and I don't see fear that they're gonna run off and leave and just be with some guy. They're in full support, and you can tell is a turn on to them. And I think that level of connection is sexy. Yeah.
Yeah, I think being open and that level of trust that the guys that are married to women have to have with their female partners, like they have to have so much trust to come out as bi, because most people think bi doesn't exist, that it's a gateway to gay. But like I'm married to a guy, and I have this joke at bars. I say I will fuck a girl to see her husband's dick in a minute. But I'm definitely bi. Primarily live life as a gay man.
Yeah. For me, I've kind of noticed like there's so many gay spaces where sex is like so easy and readily available that then it can make you kind of think like this is because it's men, but actually it's the energy and environment that is just so open and sexy. And then you come here and it's like, oh, you can recreate that with women too if they're into it. That's kind of what's rewired for me. Does that trend?
Yeah, I would agree with that for sure. Because even walking around the city of Palm Springs, we're like, this whole freaking city is like so sexually charged.
I had somebody drive by me 4 times yesterday while I went for a walk, and on the 4th time asked if I needed a ride. I was like, wow, I don't need one today. But
well, your name is Hot Rob. So
yes,
this is the new nickname.
You could just tell that by driving by. Yeah,
he knew. He's like, "Oh, that's Hot
Rob." Are you learning anything about yourself in the last 3 days being here?
That there's like more to discover about ourselves, our relationship, my own relationship with my body, and like kind of my mental capacity to take on these new experiences and embrace them.
Oh, how has that shifted?
I am more open-minded after coming to this event.
Cool.
And
2 days.
Coming at this event.
How many times?
Yeah, oh God, who knows?
I think like 6 or 7.
I'm up to 7 in 3 days. You were up to
I like-
8 in one day, I think.
Yeah, I'm at like 13 or 14. I don't
He's
know.
a back-to-back multi-comer a lot of times.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's not fair.
And are you learning anything about yourself here?
Just it's more like reinforcement of what I already kind of knew and thought. Like, bi actually exists. Like the guys that are married to girls are not just gay and hiding it.
Yeah.
And that I think that all people are probably this sexual. It just takes so much trust and communication to be able to express it that most people are afraid of it.
And accept it on your own, and even for yourself. So my husband Mark, being new to bottoming, he got emotional
The first
after he got fucked kind of hard for the first time ever, because he had only bottomed for me 3 or 4 times ever, and it was not planned, and it did not last long because I did not last long. Because it was a turn on. It was like something very unexpected, and it just got me off really quickly every time. And but him discovering that like he can now relax and want that feeling, and it's a different feeling he'd never experienced even from me fucking him. It was intense, but it was just different. He'd never let himself go.
We had like the top sexes of our life, like one morning just randomly, and like I was like crying after. It was so intense and so
like
good.
Wasn't understanding that was possible, and he told me, I don't know, like if I know myself, like he knew he was a top, and all of a sudden he's not, and he's liking this so much. And
like my whole sexual identity is changing, and it's like, wait, what have I been doing?
Right. Oh, I think that's so fascinating and like beautiful, because it's like, I think most people, we find something we like, or we are pushed into a box of like, you should like this, and then we like think that's it. And people just don't explore beyond it, especially when they're married. And to come somewhere like this, or just open up to some new sexual experiences like that expands your sexuality, is so beautiful. And it reminds you like there's always more to explore. There's always a new first.
Right. I didn't think there were, but I also like credit him with that, because I've never in my life felt this safe and comfortable, and like psychological safety, emotional safety. Like I don't worry. He could go fuck 30 people right now, and I would be like, oh, don't forget lettuce on the way home. Like it's just comfortable, but I don't take it for granted for 1 second.
Cool. Yeah, this BFF is like, it can bring a lot out of you and confront a lot of things in you, but also if you've done a lot of work before you get here, then you can really enjoy it
I already
fully.
Feel like our relationship is elevated because of this experience.
Yeah, amazing. So thank you guys so much. This is great. I would love to continue, but there is a gangbang in the maze at 3:45, and it's 3:48.
Hard cocks in the maze at 3:45.
So I think we should go there.
Absolutely.
Is there any final thoughts you want to share?
No, just don't be afraid to talk to your partner if you have one, or just explore.
Yeah, you really, as much as it's said, you only live once, and you should be able to enjoy your entire body, explore your body, and be honest with the person that you love of things that you like.
Beautiful. Lovely. Let's go to the gangbang. Okay, that was Mark and Josh. I love some of the insights they had in there. Really fascinating. So you heard about the gangbang, and the next day I ended up meeting the woman at the center of the gangbang. I didn't even realize it was her at first, and we talk about how we met in this interview about halfway in. So this interview I conducted at night between sex, where a group of people just ended up sitting by the pool chatting. We were listening to a guy named Peter talk about opening the second hole when he's being penetrated. You'll hear from Peter at the end of this episode, and there's a little bit of bonus content of that conversation that I happened to record with permission. on Patreon. So a little bit of just random chatter if you want to get a feel for BFF on Patreon. But eventually I did start interviewing Jenni during this. So here is Jenni.
So my name is Jenni, and I've been in the lifestyle for since 2012, and with my husband. And then I've just been around the people, and I love the people. I love the environment. It's non-judgmental. You can walk around, do whatever, wherever, and as long as you're not hurting anybody, nobody's judgmental. And I feel like it's a safe place to go. Going through a separation with my husband, I got out of it for a while, and this is the first time I've came to a big event like this.
This is your first BFF?
This is my first BFF.
Cool.
I date Peter. He is in a relationship with, I call her his wife, with Rhonda. They've been together for 15 years, but we're all poly. Rhonda and I don't do anything, but him and I do. And I date other guys. Anyway, it's in the purple shaker bottle. And so Rhonda, I told her to bring that here.
Yeah, I mean, you can
Anyway,
fuck me with this or fuck me with your dick and learn it.
so anyways, Rhonda normally comes out here with him, and she tapped me in this time in her place. And she usually doesn't participate in the other festivities, but this time I did.
Cool.
And so, and it's fun.
Tell us about your fantasy that manifested today and how that
So-
came about.
My fantasy today, ever since I found out what a female chick glory hole was, which I watched on a porn one time,
Does it have a name? Doesn't it have a name? A hoary
a
hole?
glory hole, I don't know. I've always had like this fantasy about a stranger doing me, and that I don't know, but I needed to be in a safe environment. My biggest thing is safety, and it never happened with my husband. But I came here last year and I didn't get to do it. But with him, with Peter, I trust him completely.
Mhm.
And so my thing was, I went to him before he came up here and asked him, "Hey, would you organize this?" Which I ended up organizing it. But no, actually he did great.
Word got around. I heard about
So-
it, and we hadn't met.
It was on the fly, and I was like, "Hey, I want to do this because everyone's fixing to leave." And so that was about 3:00, and I asked Brad if he would go help me cut the misters on, and then we moved some pillows over there. I came back in here like at 3:11, and pulled him to the side of the pool and said, "Hey, I want you to make an announcement that they're going to run a train on me." And I said, "I want you to just make an announcement that it will be, right now." He goes, "Well, they're going to have to get ready." I said, "Okay, then do 3:45. So we announced that it's going to happen at 3:45. And I told him, I said, at 3:40, they need to line up on the wall, and then you take them back there. In the meantime, I went back there, and I did not want to know who it was. So I had blindfolds on, made it where I couldn't see what was going on, got everything ready. He was back there. We had a conversation. He stayed with me at all times. He organized, made sure I was staying safe. We did have a video of it. We videoed it. I wanted to watch it later. And he was in control of it. And I was like, I've open to whatever position, whatever they want to do to me. If I need to go up higher, down lower, whatever, I don't care. And so it started and it lasted for an hour and 10 minutes.
Wow.
And it was amazing. He kept me lubed up the whole time, and
I saw that.
it was one of the most exhilarating experiences of my life.
Really?
Like,
Tell me more. Why?
That I was so turned on. I've never squirted the way I squirted today. Like, I squirted so hard because I was so excited and so turned on. It bounced off of the male and bounced back on me, and I thought they blew their load, and I thought it landed on me and dripped down. And there's a girl putting ice in my mouth and hydrating me. I was like, he just blew his load, and it landed and dripped down. She's like, "No, honey, that's all you, girl." And I was like, "What?" She's like, It went like ping pong ball.
I actually saw that happen. I was there for
Are
that.
you
moment.
serious?
Yes, I was standing.
Oh my
right
gosh,
there.
that was the weirdest sensation. That was like the weirdest.
Did you hear? She squirted so hard she thought it was someone else's cum.
Oh yeah.
It like bounced off the guy and back onto her.
I have never. Yes. Yeah. Rebound squirt.
She's like, oh my gosh, the guy just like came all over me.
And we were like, no, that was.
Yeah. She's like, no, honey, that was all you. And I was like, oh my god, I have never in my life. I'm getting goosebumps down my back.
What about the not knowing who it was? Why do you think that turned you on so much?
I don't know. I don't know where that stems from. I don't know
Interesting.
where it came from. I just know I didn't want to know who it was, but I needed somebody there with me that was able to make sure I was safe
Yeah.
with it. I wouldn't have ever done it by
Safety.
myself. I needed to have someone there that I trusted, that made sure I was safe and that would be in control. And I don't know. I just did not want to know who it was. At one point, I got real hot and took I had a t-shirt over my face, took it off, and I kept my eyes closed. But at one point, I opened them, and I saw people above my head watching. And I'm like, close your eyes, close your eyes, close your eyes. You don't want to know if they're in there. And it turns out those people were not in there. They really were just watching. And then going back and watching the video and watching, I had no idea there were so many people. Ever since, like this afternoon in the pool earlier, they said, you're the BFF queen. I'm like, what? But I was like, there were so many people. This one guy goes, I was in line to get to you, but my wife had your overflow. They were running a train on her in a different area because you had such a long line to get to you.
That was true.
And it started, we announced it at 3:11. And
Word spread. I heard about it at about 3:30, somewhere over there.
That
And
is
we were like,
crazy.
we'll be there.
And I have never
And
met
we never
you.
met. We never met.
Never met.
And then, in fact, we didn't even meet then. Then I just sat down here about 15 minutes ago. You were watching the video, and you said, look, there's you. Fucking me. And that's how we met.
I'm Jenny.
Hi, I'm Rob.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to shake your hand finally.
Yes.
It was nice on the other side of it too to have him there, your partner, Peter. Like that made it safe for both sides of it because like I could ask him questions about what your boundaries were.
Yeah, and
so
like,
we knew.
And I completely I didn't even really have to cover anything with him.
Yeah.
He just knew, and I completely I just completely trusted him and trusted the situation. Cool. There was another glory hole next to me that 2 women and 2 men got in that I outlasted them.
You did?
Yes. One girl got in it, and at one point I did look over and was watching her get railed, and that was really hot. And then she looked at me, she's like, I have to get out because my Uber's here.
Amazing.
And then
ordering an Uber while inside.
Yes, she did. And then she's like, I gotta get out. I gotta catch my Uber.
Amazing.
And then there's another girl that went, and then 2 guys. And they're like, how are you still going? I'm like, I'm not used to having multiple partners. It's just been on my bucket list for, I don't know, it's just exhilarating. I'm so excited. I was worried I was going to feel bad about it. But I do not. I am hot and bothered right now thinking of it.
Beautiful. I love it. This is we're manifesting our fantasies here.
Absolutely. I love that I'm not judged. You could not do this anywhere else.
Yeah.
And like nobody was getting hurt. It was completely safe. It was my choice, my body. I was completely sober, and it was just something I wanted to do. And I had a great support system. I'll say that.
Yeah. Cool. That's so empowering. I love it.
I love it.
Cool. Anything else you want to share?
No, I mean, I think everybody should try that once. It's amazing.
What's your favorite thing about BFF overall this weekend?
I did not know a soul here. And I came in here and I really just haven't done anything on lifestyle since my husband and I split up. And it has been absolutely amazing. I've completely felt safe. I have felt welcomed. I have felt comfortable doing anything and everything. And I love seeing how everyone is comfortable with everyone. And I don't think I have not heard anybody bicker all weekend, and I have not heard any judgmental anything.
Is that different from other lifestyle things you've been doing?
No, not really. Most people in the lifestyle. I know where I'm from in East Texas, and you don't body shame. You don't. It's like Fight Club. You don't talk about Fight Club. You keep it private. You don't discuss people's business. If you're caught just being disrespectful or body shaming or doing something inappropriate, you are blackballed, and the word gets around. It's about respect. Everybody goes through stuff, but in the real world, like out, not in the lifestyle world, people are like, I felt they're a lot more judgmental about things. But here, like, we're all crazy. I don't know. We all have a different mindset, but I'm very open to. Right now, I want to try everything in life at least once, and anything sexually, I want to try at least once with an open mindset and say, "Hey, I tried it."
Exactly. How do you know until you try?
Exactly. And with him, he's bisexual, and I've learned so much from being with him. He is very smart, very intelligent, and I've never in my life thought I would be with anybody bisexual because my mindset, I was raised in a Christian home where you don't view people. I mean, you don't do that. You associate that with getting AIDS. I mean, it's just how my mindset was for a long time. And now I'm like, my God, I've missed out for so long. There's so much more. There's a whole nother thing, and so many more scenarios. I've had so many scenarios happen since I've been here. Like, I got it. Oh my gosh, I could go on and on and on, but I love it. I love the people here, the experiences. It's been nostalgic. I love it.
That's beautiful that you ended up with a bi guy and it like changed your feelings about it, because I know that's so common, like people judging male bisexuality.
And I absolutely was one, and
it's beautiful to see that transformation.
Right, and I did not ever expect to be dating him. We were friends. We used to do pole dance routines at a place in Palace in Purple Peacock, and he just invited me to come hang out with him at his house with my RV. And that was in like the first of the year, and I pretty much have been there ever since, back and forth. But we've just grown closer and closer and closer. And then his wife or partner, whatever, Rhonda, like, I don't know. I've grown to love his lifestyle, and I love. He went to Walmart with these bright silver pants and bright silver shoes and a little thingy hanging out with a rainbow shirt, and I would have never went with anybody like that in the past. And he goes, "Are you embarrassed to go on Walmart with me?" I'm like, "Nope." You're going to end up on Walmart people of Walmart.com, but I absolutely want you to be you, and I support you 100%. Let's go. And I was so proud to walk with him in that crazy ass freaking outfit.
Amazing.
But yeah, anyway.
That's so awesome. Beautiful. Well, thank you. We love to hear that. My podcast is about bi men and like male bisexuality and related topics, and so there's so many guys, so that's beautiful to hear. Thanks for sharing your fantasy with us today. I think you had a fantasy fulfilled, and so did like a bunch of guys.
Really?
Because a lot of us were like, "Oh, gangbang in the glory hole in the maze. That's something I would want to do this weekend."
One thing he didn't know the difference was, he was like, "What's the difference in a gangbang and a train?"
Yeah.
And
what is the difference? I don't actually.
So a gangbang is if it was me right here and all of y'all on me, like as a team at once.
All around, yeah.
Train is literally like you're on the tracks, like you're in line, one in front of the other, and you're one-on-one with the person, but you got another one lined up and they follow behind, like you're train on tracks.
So that's what we did today.
Y'all ran a train on me.
Cool.
Yes.
That was fun.
Yes. Thank you.
Thanks for letting us run the train, and thanks for being on the podcast.
Yes, of course.
That was Jenni. What a fun interview. We'll hear from her partner, Peter, in a little bit. We'll get back to more interviews in just a moment. But first, let me describe the physical space at BFF just so you can kind of get an idea in your mind. And also, just so you know, on Patreon, I usually have video of all my interviews. That does not exist for this episode. I did not shoot video. I only took audio. But for my Patreon subscribers, I have included some photos of BFF that play along with this episode. So even though you can't see my interview subjects on video, you can get a sense of what BFF was like, what it looks like, what it might feel like to be there. Most of the photos don't have people in it. I didn't take photos of any sex acts or any people. That is not the vibe. Cell phones are put away for the most part, but I did take some photos of the space, of some posters that are hanging up that create an atmosphere of bi inclusivity and joy. I took photos of the playrooms, the play maze, the pool. So if you want to see what it looks like, subscribe on Patreon, and you also get full video episodes of every other episode, early access, bonus content, and you help support this podcast. So thank you. Patreon.com/RobertBrooksCohen. But I do want to just describe BFF briefly so that you have a mental image as you listen to the next set of interviews. So basically it's a swingers resort. It's all one story. It's like a rectangular complex with interior courtyards and rooms on the outside. So you walk in, there's one big courtyard in the front with a pool. There's often music there. There were dance parties at night. There's lots of pool lounge chairs. There are a handful of beds around the pool for play and lounge chairs, which are not for play, but just sitting. When you walk in, a majority of people are naked. That's how it is there. And you really do get used to it after the first few minutes. I went back to my normal life, wondering why I had to wear so much clothing all the time. And those who are not naked are in very little clothing, both men and women. And like, it's kind of funny if you see someone wearing a full outfit, like shoes and pants and a shirt, you know that they're either on their way in or out of the premises. But nobody wears clothes for very long once they enter the premises. Everyone has a little necklace on that has their name on it and colored beads to denote position. I think it's red beads for top, blue for bottom, purple for verse. And then there's gold and silver and other beads for full swap or oral swap only, or I don't really know. I had the beads that said everything and anything. And then off of the main interior courtyard, there are 3 or 4 smaller interior courtyards with more rooms, smaller pools to hang out in, hot tubs. And then in the middle of that, there's an outdoor play maze, which you kind of can walk through, and there's little alcoves and corners and glory holes and beds and benches and lots of outdoor space to play. There are probably over 100 guest rooms on site, and then about half the people are staying in the guest rooms and half the people are staying off site at other nearby hotels or Airbnbs. And in addition to those guest rooms, there are 3 indoor playrooms. One of them is like a normal guest room with 1 king bed. The other 2 are a bit bigger. One of them is the one I just recorded those 2 interviews you heard. And another one is even bigger. It's got lots of beds. It's got slings, benches, showers, and lots of open windows for people to see what's going on before they decide to enter. The staff at the hotel, God bless them, they are constantly changing the sheets in all the playrooms and the outdoor beds. Probably every half hour, they're changing the sheets when things are active. And during the day at BFF, most people are kind of hanging out by the pool or going off into downtown Palm Springs to escape or go to lunch. And some people go to the playrooms during the day, but it's usually a little less active. And then at night, play is happening all over. The playrooms usually have a lot of people in them and a lot of turnover, people going in and out. There's a lot of people playing on the beds by the pool. And as much action as there is at night, because you're kind of just there and that's the whole night, there's also a lot of downtime in between. I mean, nobody is having sex for 5 hours straight. And so you end up chatting with people all over the place in different rooms in various states of sex and undress. And that creates this interesting kind of intimacy of just like having people all around. And it leads to a lot of sexual activity where the goal is not climax, and people don't climax, but they just play. And it can last for a few minutes and you stop and you move on. And you do have to pace yourself because it's 4 nights long. By the 4th night, I was exhausted. Anyway, that's kind of what it looks like there. I conducted the next series of interviews on the same night, so there's a bit of background noise in there. Here is an interview with first timer at BFF, Don. Enjoy.
My name is Don. I'm from Northern California. I am 6 months into exploring my bisexuality after a long-term marriage. It has separated now, and this has exactly been 6 months. I'm here, celebrating that, I guess. And
Interesting date coincidence.
Yeah, definitely. It was. I had all of what I've done with 6 months, exploring my bisexuality for the first time in middle age, and just really enjoying that. And
Tell us about that exploration and what you've learned about yourself from it. And I know it's like continuing here, but it's been before this weekend too.
yeah, this has been something that I've been aware in myself for years, but had never been able to explore. And as soon as I was free to explore, I've just head it first and really had fun. And finding out about this event was a big thing. I've been looking forward to it for months, and it's been 4 days of hedonistic exploration and new experiences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it what you expected or different, or what was what you expected or what was different?
Honestly, I don't think I put a lot of expectation to it. I just wasn't sure. I didn't want to overthink it, right? So I just kind of went in blind and I'd read and followed the different conversations and about it. So it seemed like it was a good place. It is. So what I could say is everybody's really cool. You don't know what that's going to be like going in, and just the level of sexiness and an attraction and chemistry here is just really cool. I find that it's just I really enjoyed it.
How do you find partners or find this? How do you get involved in the action? How did you navigate that?
Yeah, being fairly new at this, and also being a single guy in a place where more couples than singles, and more, it's a little different of a challenge. But I kind of go. I'm kind of extroverted, but I kind of go in a Zen mode and just not try too hard and just hang out and meet people and let conversations happen and see where they go. Some of those are just nice conversations, and some of those, turn out to be something else later on in the day or the next day. That's really cool. And so I don't try. That my approach has been to not try too hard, right? And also, I'm talking about with people. It's no matter how much fun you get to have, you always want more. It's never quite enough.
That's funny because I'm kind of done, but I know that later when things heat up again, I won't be done. But I'm 4 days of this is a lot.
It's a lot.
One night of it was a lot.
Yeah, it's pretty magical.
It is an abundance of kind of everything.
But that also gives you time to just kick back and relax and chat with people. It's not like you're not going all the time, and people, people head out together for lunch or dinner and come back, and it ebbs and flows. There's times it's quiet because everyone else is doing other things, taking a break.
Right. I found the fact that it's 4 days and ebbs and flows, you can just kind of relax and let things happen. There's less of this energy of we have to make something happen right now, and it just kind of is more laid back and nice.
Yeah, there's a lot of time. There's a laid backness to it. Yeah.
So what's your favorite thing about this?
Well, I think I'd have to give you explicit descriptions of experiences I had. Yes.
if you want to.
Well, okay. I will say that I've had fun with couples. I've had fun in groups. I've had that one-on-one with some guys. But I was sort of this fourth day. I was coming in here going, I had a goal. That I wanted a bottom, and I wanted to do it on one of the mattresses next to the pool. I'm kind of an exhibitionist, and most of the play I'd done was in rooms. Not that they were empty; there were people there. But anyway, you literally it was you this morning said or something. Manifest that.
I told you to manifest it. Yeah.
And that paid off twice. Like literally 2 different encounters on mattresses by the pool, and what I never expected to be was like literally. I'm such a slut. Literally, I just stopped, started chatting with them, not expecting it to go anywhere. So literally just met and then did that. Just like we went at it. And I got fucked right there at the edge of the pool. And then the same thing happened like 3 hours later with someone totally different in the same sort of thing.
Amazing.
Just kind of made eye contact, like hi.
Amazing. I'm so happy for you. There is like a thing here where there's a low barrier between like whatever's happening and play could happen at any moment.
Yeah.
And people are pretty like, they have boundaries. You know, not everyone wants to do everything, but they're like, if you ask, most people will be like, yeah, let's go. I was on the dance floor last night and saw this older woman, like small woman with a glow-in-the-dark green dildo, and I whispered to, and I don't bottom that much, but I whispered to my friend, like, I think I want to get fucked by her. And then I didn't go talk to her, and 3 minutes later, she was dancing behind me, sticking that dildo into, like, pressing it up against me, and then we started talking, and I was like, I think I want you to use that on me. And then she did, right by the pool, while a bunch of people watched.
God.
So I manifested that.
That's awesome, man.
That's how I knew it would work.
I'm sorry I missed that.
Oh yeah, you weren't there? Yeah, that was fun. Okay, anything else you want to share about BFF or your journey here?
Yeah, I'm definitely coming back. I've got friends back home who will be coming for their first time next year because of what I've shared with them. We joked we're going to plan with 6 or 8 people, get a Winnebago and have a 9-hour orgy down from home down to Palm Springs, driving.
Wow, have an orgy on the way to the orgy. Amazing. Just can't get enough. I love it. Cool. Well, thank you for sharing your perspective.
Definitely. Thank you very much, Rob.
That was first timer Don, and now here's an interview with a veteran of BFF who had been to many of them. You'll hear a lot about how BFF builds community and friendships in this interview. Here is Laura.
So my name is Laura. I am 64 years old. I've been known that I was bisexual since I was 19, but in the 80s, you had to pick a side. And so I was an out lesbian for a while, and then I was married to a straight man. And then I was a lesbian again. And then 12 years ago, I thought, this is crazy. I keep ruining my life, other people's lives. I had a therapist tell me that I had a problem with my sexual identity, that it's the rest of the world that had a problem. So I'm now really out and loud about being bi. And when I came out in 1980, I was out and loud about being a lesbian.
Cool. Amazing. How did you come to that understanding of bisexuality?
Well, it was very concrete thinking that was actually problematic. I was 19. I fell in love with a woman, so I must be a lesbian.
Makes sense at 19.
Yeah. So, and I'm here at BFF with my partner, and we met in the swinging lifestyle, and we knew all along that we were both bi. And our first date, this is the most affirming thing that's ever happened to me. On our first date, the next morning, we laid in bed together, and repeated the bullshit messages that we got. You're sitting on the fence. You're just confused. You need to make up your mind. That's what my therapist told me.
Wow.
I mean, and all of those things. Or as a bi woman, I am not performatively bi. I am a bi woman. I can have a relationship with a woman, a relationship with a man, and so then you get, as a woman, I get objectified. Oh, so you're bisexual? Can I watch you and your girlfriend? Can I watch you eat your girlfriend? That stuff drives me nuts.
Yep, all the fetishization,
Yes.
which doesn't happen at BFF, even though lots of sexy things happen.
Right.
So tell us, like, how did you find BFF? How many of these have you been to? What's your experience here?
This is my 13th BFF.
Wow.
And my 10th summer BFF.
Cool.
And my partner.
Your partner's a man?
Yes, sorry. My male.
You don't have to use his name, but yeah.
My cis male partner, he had gone to a couple before and told me about it, and we had been dating a year when I came to my first one. And now it's really our bi community, because where we live in a rural part of the country, and it's very red, and this is our community.
Cool. What do you love the most? You've been coming 13 times. What do you love about it?
I'm a chick. I'm a chick. I like the community and the friendships that we've built, and the sex is secondary for me.
Yeah. Interesting. For some people, like, you come here, all you see, or you look around, is sex. Right before we were talking, you were telling me, like, yes, some people just maybe find one person and go off, and they're not having sex all day in playrooms with orgies. So, like, what do you like to do when you're here?
When I'm here, I like to hang out. I like to. I don't day drink anymore, but used to have a little bit of cannabis, just decompress, unwind. I like to go to the playroom and play with my male partner or without, and I have specific people that I really, really like to play with, who are my regular playmates when I come to BFF, and I've formed some really deep friendships as a result. So
beautiful. Even my second time here, I feel like I know people in a different way already.
Exactly.
And you're bonding over this shared thing that can be difficult when we're not in this space.
And we don't, and we, okay, believe me, we do not have to be as hyper vigilant as I was 40 years ago. I really don't have to worry about my job, because I came out. We rebranded our belonging inclusive DEI into BEI. Anyway, and so we did a big pride event, and we did the alphabet. If I say the name of it, people will know where I work. We did that. We did that alphabet, and I represented the B and the Q. Because I've always called myself queer, for political reasons.
Yeah, why? Tell us.
Well, I'm a registered nurse, and I became a nurse, and I out lesbian, became a nurse in the early days of the AIDS epidemic, and took care of some of the first AIDS patients in Dallas, Texas, and then in Lubbock, Texas. And I helped our community in Lubbock by then the mid 80s with we called it safe sex, now it's safer sex, but with safe sex techniques. And no one was interested in helping in this epidemic. And so I was politicized, is what it amounts to. And so I really believe in that big umbrella of Q. And I do understand it's a problem. for many people who had that hurled at them in hateful, ugly ways.
Yes, I understand that too, but I totally agree that this broad term that includes like all of us who are marginalized based on gender
Yes.
or sexuality is
Or,
an important.
or even relationship construct, like
indeed.
polyamory. A lot of polyamory people get mad if you call them queer. But anyway, I've had people mad at me. It's like, we're not queer. It's like, yeah, you are.
Interesting, but they are. I mean, it is works a similar way in society where you have to keep it hidden.
Right.
It's misunderstood.
Yeah.
It's different. Yeah. Cool. Anything else you want to share about BFF?
No, it's just, boy, parts of Palm Springs are home away from home.
I love that for you. It's about this community, like because I think people hear by Fuckfest, it's like sex, and that's sort of you're looking at it a lot, but but the reason you're back is for the community,
but
which is
they're
so hard
really-
to create by community.
Right, and it's a lot for a lot of people. It's also not just a bi fuck fest, but it's best friends forever.
Indeed, yeah. Well, I think what I've learned is there's a lot of people here who are not as out in their home lives,
they're not.
and this is a place where you don't even have to say anything. You are just out when you're walking out through the door, and totally accepted by everyone.
Yeah, and I forget that when I see people who are just like enamored and kind of over the top, and I forget the dis-ease that they may have as they go through their lives, and the dis-ease of coming to terms with, oh wait, I'm bisexual, because I already did that, and I have to offer people grace. Everyone, it doesn't happen often, but it's like every once in a while, it's like, wait a minute. These I cannot imagine what it's like to live where they live. I mean, it's weird where I do, but then I'm a white cis woman in a het-looking relationship, and we are deeply closeted where we live.
Right. Right. Even for you guys, it's it's a struggle. Yeah. So this is just like this place allows people.
But if we drive 70 miles to the nearest big city,
it's different.
Yeah.
Well, shout out to those out there who need to drive to the city. You can always come to BFF. Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
That was Laura. After talking to her, I met BA, who is not out at home in his home life, so wanted to use an acronym instead of his real name. And I just love talking to him. Here is BA. Okay, so
Never done this, so bear with me.
Okay, and
what news interviews, but never
whatever you want to share, whatever you don't, is fine. So I'm here with BA. Tell us a little about yourself, whatever you're comfortable sharing, and what brings you here.
60-something bi rancher is how I describe myself on some of the lifestyle websites, which is an interesting combo.
That's unique.
A little bit, yes. From Colorado.
Okay. And how did you find BFF?
I had friends in the swinger lifestyle that came to the event when it was in Vegas years ago, like a dozen or more years ago, 15 years ago.
Cool.
And I had work in Vegas, got done early, and spent a couple days at that weekend, and I've been coming ever since.
Cool. And tell me a little about, like, how did you come to realize you were bi, and like when and where, in what spaces are you out or not?
Yeah, so realized it pretty late in life. I mean, I was probably looking at pictures of guys when I was, 16 or in my teens, but never embraced it or never understood it.
Same.
Looked at gosh, back when there were listservs, I remember looking at pictures of guys, and I was way more interested in that than women, but still didn't even realize what it meant and then I decided to join the lifestyle to explore having sex with men, not knowing that there was still a stigma in the swinger community against bi men.
Tell us about that stigma and
Well,
how you encountered it.
I started in the swinger community as a single guy, and there's already a stigma against single guys. And I very naively thought, well, I'll just call myself bisexual and then I'll be able to explore this. And I got really lucky because the first few couples that I met were bi, and so they kind of, if it hadn't been for them, I never would have survived the swinger community, let alone being bisexual in that community. And I really enjoy the difference in interacting with men in the gay community and the bi swinger community is very different. So they each have their sort of strengths and different twists to them. Put it that way.
Wait, say that again. The difference
between men who have sex with men in the gay community and in the swinger or bi community.
What's the difference?
Well, there's a whole different set of rules, lifestyle rules and bathhouse rules. Bathhouse rules are completely different. Gay men are a lot more straightforward when you're just hooking up. I mean, it's easier. There's also the one thing I find sort of interesting is if you go to a gay party, like you're somebody's type there. No matter what you are like, you're somebody's type. And I have to say, in the swinger community, there's still a tendency towards abs and ripped guys and super fit people, and the gay community's not. It is like that. In fact, I'm showing my naivete probably because in certain areas it's very much like that.
Yeah.
But in other areas it's not at all.
I feel like I've seen it both where, yes, in certain spaces, everyone's the muscly six pack, but then you're right.
But you come to Palm Springs, it isn't like that.
Yeah.
If you're in LA or San Francisco, it apparently is like that.
Yeah. But yeah, the gay community does have a little bit more of someone's into everyone.
And Denver's kind of in the middle, I think, where that's my closest big city.
Interesting. So how does BFF compare to a non-bi swinger event?
It's a community. Like everybody here who's been for several years thinks of themselves as community, and so the rules are kind of the same. Consent is the most important thing, informed consent. People are very careful about that. But, there's a lot more sex, frankly, and there's a lot more public sex at this event. And you'll see and do things you won't experience that much in the swinger communities, at least not in the open, maybe behind closed doors. Things like pegging and that sort of thing. You're not going to see that in most lifestyle events.
Oh, interesting.
Certainly not in public. I don't think. I mean, the ones I've been to, it would be unusual. But the bi acceptance in the swinger community is growing by leaps and bounds every year. I mean, just look on the a website like Cassidy. How many people list as bi? It used to be you did a search on bi men and you'd come up with, in northern Colorado you'd come up with half a dozen. Now you probably come up with 20, 30. There's a lot more people identify that way.
That's amazing to hear. And and how does this BFF compare to a gay party?
That's interesting because I've been to this very resort when it was gay and stayed here when it was no women allowed for sure. Again, a better sense of community. I mean, there's people here that I've known for 10 years. I've never had sex with them. I consider them good friends. We look out for each other. We have fun together. We laugh. We goof around. But it's not sexual necessarily. And then there's other people here I've had sex with 2 or 3 times and I barely remember their name and they barely know mine, or maybe they do because it's more memorable, but that's just the way it is. And it's, they're okay with it. I'm okay with it.
Cool. I love it. What's your favorite part about BFF?
Favorite part of BFF? Gosh, my favorite part of BFF. I have friends here I've known for a dozen years, and I introduced them to BFF. I met them on a cruise. Some of them in a playroom. They were bi. We started talking. I told them about BFF. Now they've been coming for 10 years. So that's probably my favorite part is the community. The sex is good too. I mean, a lot of shit goes on.
Cool. Lovely. Thank you. Anything else on your mind you want to share? Cool.
Well, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're talking about it. I think the more people talk about it in current spaces, the better off we all are.
How much do you share about
I
this?
wish I'd have known about this 40 years ago.
Yeah. What have you learned about yourself by being in spaces like this?
So I grew up super conservative, and I'm still, until the last 6-8 years, I was still pretty conservative.
And you're not out about much of this stuff at home?
Within the swinger community, I am, but outside that, not hardly at all. I have 2 or 3 friends outside the swinger community that know I'm bi. Yeah, I mean, the community, the sense of community is great. This event is very unique in that way. It used to be a much smaller event. I mean, it's 3 times the size of what it used to be.
Cool.
So if you can imagine, in the beginning, in the early days, they kept it secretive. They didn't even announce publicly when it was and where it was. You had to know somebody to get invited because they were afraid of people being outed or people not being safe or whatever. And now, that's changed quite a bit.
Cool. Sounds like BFF is leading the way, and more swingers are opening up to buy.
Similar to it. I mean, there's one coming up here in Palm Springs. Going to be twice a year.
Yeah. People keep telling me about all these interconnected events that the same people are going to, and it's growing and growing.
In Florida that hosts a bunch of bi events there. There's some in Vegas that host bi events.
Cool.
All you gotta do is look around and you'll find them.
Bi takeover. We're taking over. Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was BA, and now finally you will hear from Peter, Jenni's partner from earlier, and there's also a little bit of bonus content with Peter explaining to a group of people how to open your second hole on Patreon. And there's a little bit of that in here too. So enjoy this interview with Peter. What do you want? I mean, you know this place better than I do, and you've been in this world. Like, what do you want people to know about BFF? What do you like about
BFF is so friendly. That's the best thing about BFF is the people and their lack of caring about gender. Y'all have seen the shirts the tank tops that say the best thing about it is you reach down, whatever genitals you get, you're okay with. I love that thing.
Okay, and tell me a little about you and like when did you realize you're bi, and like how did you come here in the first place or get involved with this kind of lifestyle?
I met Brad and Tracy on a cruise in LA, and we're talking about pegging, and so she said she wanted to peg me, and so we ended up working that out. We went to a room, and then she brought in this little toy, and I was like, no, I like big toys. So I wanted her to fist me. And anyway, then they started saying, well, you're a ton of fun. You need to come to BFF. And that was their first year that they took it over. And so I've been here everything ever since.
How long ago was that?
13 years ago, 13 BFFs ago.
Okay. And tell me a little about you. Like, when did you realize you're bi, or how out are you? Like, how open are you about
totally
this?
Out. I've been out most of my life, but the first time I had sex, probably not a great experience, but really young, like 6-8 years old, was with men, and so then I had sex with men long before women, and then first time I had sex with women was 3 girls in the back of the church bus, and anyways, just so I've always figured I'm bi. I'm always been a little bit kinky, and it's all down here from there.
Yeah. Tell us about the kink. And like when I met you a few days ago, I was learning a lot about how much you can fit up there. Is that a kink of yours, or like what else?
I love large toys, fisting. I do 1, 2, 3 fists. I was thinking about doing 4 fists on this party, but instead I did the show did you see the show I did?
I heard about it. I was out to lunch. I'm so sad I missed it.
Oh yeah. So what we did is we had a fist up inside me, and then somebody fucking me at the same time, and then they took the hand inside me and jacked off the person inside of me.
Right.
And then I sat on the really big toy that was for the dildo challenge. That I said I brought, if anybody could take the dildo, they could have it, and
Nobody could.
nobody could.
But you did.
Yeah, so then I sat on it and played a little bit, and then prolapsed for the audience.
What does that mean?
Prolapse, that's where you take your prostate and pull it outside your body and show it, and then put it back in. Make like what they call a rosebud.
I can't believe I missed it. What do you like about very large things up there?
Well, I like the feeling of being full, like it fills you up, and then there's all kinds of graduations over the time of getting bigger and bigger. You know, you get the difference between ejaculation and an orgasm. Everybody thinks it's the same, and it's obviously not. You get this full body chills, full body orgasm, and then there's ejaculation, and they're different. And sometimes you'll ejaculate, but you won't come. Other times you'll come and you won't ejaculate. And so then, as you learn your body and learn between the first sphincter and the second hole, the different openings and things like that, it's just it kind of is an educational, getting bigger and bigger, how your body takes it, and then as it fills you up, that full feeling. Anyway, you just seem like you just want to keep going bigger and bigger, and you want to sit on it, and it's like, okay, that now it's tight. That really is feel full. Well, the next time it's like a little looser, a little looser, a little looser. So then it's like, hey, I'm getting a little bigger toy. Well, then pretty soon you're doing stuff like I'm doing.
Wow, fill it with more and more. That makes so much sense about the orgasm and ejaculation, because when I don't get fucked often, but when I do and I come, I've often said like the orgasm feels different, but actually that it might be what you're saying.
Sorry.
No, that's okay.
We didn't chit chat much.
No, foreplay. I know. Yep, I have to get together. Are you guys going to
Yes.
the Ho one? Yeah. Okay, we'll see you there. Okay. Yeah, I'll be sharing a room with Brad and Celine.
Oh, okay. See you there.
All right, see you there.
Bye. New people that we had to meet.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, that makes so much sense that it actually might be the difference between ejaculation and orgasm, and that those are actually not the same thing. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's exactly like on a girl.
Yeah.
When you're with a girl,
Right.
You get her to come, or you can get her to like totally go into a full body orgasm where they start shaking and convulsing and all that. Men do exactly the same thing, and men can roll into multiple orgasms just like a girl, where they orgasm. They orgasm once, then it's super sensitive. It's hard to keep going, and then you give it a little bit of time, then you do it again, and those times get closer and closer together, and pretty soon you're rolling into multiple orgasms. Guys do exactly the same thing as a girl.
Interesting. I've noticed that here with like waves of people, like men sort of having waves of orgasms, but not necessarily coming. Like, and actually, men and women might not be that different if we allowed ourselves to feel the flow.
Oh, I agree. I think that the genitalia is different, but I mean, they originally, I think when we were eggs, we're all the same, and as we grow, all the feelings are there. I mean,
Okay,
is it just like playing with nipples? Guys love playing with nipples.
Yeah.
Girls love playing with nipples. People I think, oh well, girls have nice tits, but guys, it doesn't matter. I'm like, yes, it does.
Lots of nipple play here at BFF. Last question? What's like some of the most fun or crazy or memorable things you've ever seen at BFF or been part of?
I gotta say the stuff that I do probably, or the shows, are probably the edge of the limit here. But getting fucked with a foot is what stands out. An Oriental girl, and she fucked me with a foot until I came, and that was pretty unusual. With some of the shows where we have multiple guys with multiple big toys playing with each other, getting each other to play, those shows are fun.
Cool. I love how these beds are right by the pool, and you just can kind of start playing on one, and people watch, and it's fun.
Absolutely.
Cool. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for being on the podcast, Peter.
You bet. Thank you.
Okay, that is everything I recorded at BFF this year. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope it gave you a little window into the world of the Bi Fuckfest. Again, if you're interested in attending, feel free to DM me. I can put you in touch. And speaking of, I was thinking about interviewing the organizers on this podcast in the future. I couldn't catch them during the event. They were quite busy, but I would love to catch up with them virtually. If you guys are interested in this, let me know if you want to learn more about this, especially if you have particular questions or other things we didn't get to today that you want to know about BFF. Send me a message, let me know. But that's it for now. So hope you enjoyed, and thanks for listening to Two Bi Guys. Two Bi Guys by One Bi Guy is produced and edited by me, Robert Brooks Cohen, and it was created by me and Alex Boyd. Our new logo art is by Caitlin Weinman. Our music is by Ross Mincer. To help support this podcast, visit patreon.com/Robert Brooks Cohen. You'll get full video episodes, early access, and bonus content. Visit robertbrookscohen.com to learn more about my coaching, my book, and my stand-up comedy. And thanks for listening to Two Bi Guys by One Bi Guy.